Hello everyone, welcome back to Engineering Drugs YouTube channel. Friends, today we are going to solve another problem based on isometric projection, and the problem statement is the figure shows front view and left hand side view of an object. Draw the isometric view. In this problem, origin O is given at the left bottom corner. So here we can consider this is the length of the object, this is the height, and 50 plus 25 is a width. So the length of this object is, the radius is given 60 mm. So 60 plus 60 is the 120 mm is the length. Height is 70 plus 30 is 100 mm, and width is 75 mm. All the dimensions are in mm. Now we know that for isometric view we require a isometric box. Now in this problem, origin O is here. Now if the observer is looking from x direction, so this is the front view direction, front view plane, and we can complete a isometric box by using length, width and height. If the observer is looking from y direction, he can see a left hand side view, and in the left hand side view you can see here this type of profile we can see. In the front side we can see this shape. So this is front view and this is left hand side view direction. This problem is again a simple problem. In this problem, these two lines are the non-isometric lines, and remaining 1, 2, 3, these lines are the isometric lines. Again in this problem, the half circular section is there, and the outer circle, half circle, its diameter is 120 mm, and inner half circle diameter is 80 mm. Now see the solution of this problem. The step first is draw a horizontal line, mark a O point, So the x and y axis is inclined with O at 30 degree. So draw a 30-degree angle on the both side, left side, right side. Simultaneously mark a 90-degree angle, and from O draw a x, y and z axis. Now in this problem, this is the x-axis, this is z-axis, and this is a y-axis. Now we know that on the x-axis, length is there. So length of the object is 120 mm, width is 75 mm, and height is 100 mm. Along the z-axis, mark a height. Now complete isometric box by using this dimension. So at this ruler along z-axis and draw a vertical line. From width direction also draw a vertical line. At this ruler along y direction and draw a line along the y-axis. These are the two planes. This is a front view plane and this is a left hand side view plane. Now at this roller along width direction and complete a third plane. This is the isometric box for this problem. This is a length, width and height. This is height, h. Now you can see here we can draw a outer circle, half circle and inner half circle, and the position of this inner and outer half circle is in this plane only, and the width of this half section is 50 mm and the vertical wall thickness is 25 mm. So this object consists of two parts. Half circular part is hollow. This 40 mm radius or 80 mm diameter circle is throughout, and the upper half circle, its thickness is up to the 50 mm. So we can draw a outer half circle and inner half circle. So for that we require a rhombus of dimension 120 by 120. So here already this length distance is 120. So above this length x-axis mark a 60 mm. So mark a 60 mm, and below this O point mark a 60 mm. So this is 120 by 120 rhombus is required for this circle, outer circle. So at this roller along length direction and draw a line from this. So we can draw a vertical line. Along this line, mark a 60 mm distance, and here we get a rhombus of dimension 120 by 120. So find the mid. So 60 mm is the center point of this line. Similarly, here also we can mark a 120 mm line. Find the center. So 60 mm is the center midpoint. Now we know that these two are the obtuse angle. These two are the obtuse angle, and from this obtuse angle, we required a line, straight line, we join a opposite side midpoint. This method is called as 4 center method. Now here in this problem, upper half circle is required. So for this upper half circle, we have to join this point, and for 1/4 arc, take this center and join these 2 points. So here I am taking C1 center for this arc, and for this arc I am taking C2 as the center. Now take a rounder, take a compass, place metallic pointer on C1 point, take this radius in a compass and mark a 1/4 arc. Now take C2 at the center and take this radius in a compass and mark here. So this is outer half circle. For 80 mm diameter half circle, we required a rhombus of dimension 80 by 80 in this plane only. So find the center point of this line. It is at 120 mm. It is at 60 mm, 60 mm, and diameter is 80. So from this midpoint, mark a 40 mm distance at left side and 40 mm distance on the right side. So make a rhombus in the front face only. This is a vertical line. So from center line we can draw a vertical line. On this line also we can mark a 40 mm distance. So this is a 40, this is 40, and make a rhombus here. Make a rhombus here. Adjust your roller along length direction. So for circle, more time is required. You can see here. So by using this method, we have drawn a rhombus here. So this is 80 by 80 rhombus. Now we have already the center points. So this is obtuse angle. Join the obtuse angle and opposite side midpoint. This is obtuse angle and opposite side mid. Join it. Now for this inner circle, this 80 mm diameter circle, I am taking C3 as the center, C3 center, and C4 center. Now take C3 center and take this radius in a compass and mark the arc here. Now for next 1/4 arc, take this radius in a compass and mark the arc. You can see here. We have drawn these 2 circles. Now draw this line and this small line. So this line is visible in the front view. Now this 18 circle, its depth is throughout along the width direction. So adjust a ruler along width direction and draw a straight line which is going to the width direction. Now you can see here the upper half circle, its width is 50 mm. So from O, mark a 50 mm width. This is a 50 mm, and this vertical wall, its thickness is 25 mm. So we can mark this vertical wall. This 60 mm distance is at the center. So we know that this is the length, and along length we can mark a midpoint. The straight distance is 30 mm. So 60 mm. So from the midpoint we can mark 30 and 30 mm. This edge we can see. Now this height, the vertical edge height is 70 mm. So from the back side we can mark a 70 mm straight line. So this edge, this slant surface we can see here, this is a slant surface. This slant line is a non-isometric line. Now the same vertical line we get at a 25 mm distance from the back side. Height is 70 mm. Height is 75 mm. This edge we can see in the now the thickness of the vertical wall is 25 mm. So from this line we can draw a line. From this line we want a line at 25 mm towards the front side. This is a 25 mm and this is a 25 mm line. Now on this line mark a 25 mm distance and draw a thin line. Adjust ruler along with and draw this profile. Directly we can join this non-isometric line. So two lines we can see here, 50 mm back side and 75 mm back side from the front face. This surface we can see here. Okay, now you can see this is the profile. Now at 50 mm back side, the upper half circle is there. This upper half circle is 50 mm back side. For this upper half circle we have taken C1 and C2, these two centers. Now by using C1 C2 center we can draw a profile, circular profile, which is starting from this point. Now you can see here we have to shift C1 and C2 50 mm along the width direction. So adjust the ruler along width side and draw a line along width side. Now you can see here this line goes to the width side. Now shift the C1 center 50 mm towards the width side. So here we will get a C1 dash center. Now for this 1/4 arc we have taken this radius. Now keep the radius same, shift the center C1 and draw a arc which is like that. Similarly shift C2 50 mm towards the width side. So we already drawn a line. So this is a C2 dash center. Now you can see here for this arc we have taken this radius in compass. Now keep the same radius and draw a slight arc, and from this circular section draw a tangent line. This tangent is at the 1/4 arc. Now from this same edge you can see 120 mm from this face. So for this we required a line along the length side, mark a 120 mm distance. This is a 12 mm distance, and from this you can mark a 70 mm vertical height. Mark a 70 mm. This is a 70 mm. So from this base the height is 75 mm, and directly we can join this one. You can see here we have completed our problem. So this is a front profile. The thickness of this front profile is 50 mm. The back profile thickness is 25 mm. So give the dimensions. This is 25 mm width. This is a 50 mm. Adjust a roller along width direction. This is a 50 mm. This is a 25 mm. This is a vertical edge. This is a 70 mm edge. Adjust a roller along vertical and mark a height. This is 70 mm. Okay, now this distance is 60 mm. This is 60 mm distance. 60 mm. 60 mm. Okay, then the diameter is 25 mm. Sorry, diameter is 120 mm. This is a 120, and the inner half circle diameter is 80 mm. This is a front direction, this is a x direction, this is a y direction. If the observer is looking from x direction, observer will get a front view, and if the observer looking from y direction, the observer get a left hand side view, and you can see here left hand side view and the y direction view. So try to solve this problem. This is again very simple problem. Thanks for watching this video. Keep drawing and keep learning.